What do we have here? Well, detective, you have to take a look for it yourself. Damn, we got another man down.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K the God here, and I'm with two of my men. I got my man Twine from hoopjab.com and also the Müvment Boxing Podcast that we do every Sunday. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for having me with you, man.
Hey, no doubt, man. That's all good. And then I got my man Kashad, that old country-ass nigga from Little Rock, Arkansas. How you doing, man?
I mean, kiss my ass. What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing, man? It's been tough. Good fight.
Oh yeah. I had to bring my man Kashad back on. He's a regular. And then my man Twine, we do this shit every Sunday, but he's only been on my show once, a long time ago, before we even did the podcast. Started the Müvment Podcast, so I definitely been trying to get him on ever since. So we're going to go ahead and break this down. Kell Brook versus Errol Spence fight down. Shout out to my man Eric R. My man was on my channel immediately after the fight telling me to get this breakdown up, so that's what we're going to do. If y'all saw that skit in the beginning of the video, shout out to my man Bernard, a.k.a. Mr. Fuckery. You know what I'm saying? He brought some more of that fuckery for the video, and I'm all down for that shit. Word up, word up. So I'm going to go to my man Twine first, man. You watched the fight, fam, and you watched the post-fight. You got some insight on Kell Brook's other eye socket. You know what I'm saying? What did you see in this fight, man? And is Errol Spence a problem at 147?
Man, first off, the fight was everything I thought it would be. Both fighters came to bring it for the most part. Spence eventually got to him like we all pretty much predicted, on our podcast on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit later than expected. But, Spence said he felt a little bit off timing-wise because he had been off, hadn't been in the ring in 9 months. So, he felt that left him a little rusty, and, he even gave himself a B- in the aftermath. So, but I like what I saw from Spence as far as keeping his composure. He didn't necessarily try and apply too much pressure. He was real calculated with it when he did do it.
Word.
He did rely on his jab, which is something he hasn't always done throughout his career. He's done in his last few fights, mainly in the Blue fight. We've seen him use it mostly for the first time. So I liked how he boxed his way in, as opposed to just burrowing in and rushing in the way he normally does in straight lines.
Word up.
With that said, we saw him do some things. His defense was better than expected. He got hit with some shots, but when you're as offensive as he is, with the combinations to the body, especially that he was throwing, when he had Kell against the ropes, you're going to take some shots, but he showed better guard on the inside, and I was just really impressed with what I saw tonight. In front of 30,000 fans, he did what he had to do. I was really thoroughly impressed. He kept his composure. I was surprised that he wasn't rattled at any time in the fight. So I was really impressed. Kell Brook was also able to do a couple of effective things in the fight as far as timing his shots. That's something we've gotten used to seeing from him. But he was off balance a lot when he did that as well.
Yeah.
And I thought he felt, he was going to outmuscle him. But, with Spence's body shots, it eventually wore him down. And I guess he was eventually tired from, all the wrestling himself.
Yeah.
So that probably played a factor in the outcome in the 11th round stoppage.
Mm-hmm. I agree with everything you said. Before, let me hold up, man. This ain't right. Before I go to my man Kashad, let me start this shit over again. I kind of started the video, in a professional manner. That's not how I do things around here. You know what I'm saying? How we gonna start this motherfucker off is, I told you motherfuckers to not compare Errol Spence to Jeff Lacy and to not compare Kell Brook to fucking Joe Calzaghe, because that's not what happened in this fight. And it was you could tell before the fight that shit wasn't gonna happen. I mean, dog, before that comparison, remember that shit that they made, the comparison they made when Anthony Joshua knocked out Vladimir Klitschko, and they were making a comparison to Muhammad Ali's knockout of Sonny Liston. And they were sitting there trying to say, oh yeah, it looked exactly the same. That's how delusional some of these British fans get. You know what I mean? One thing is for sure. When you got multiple boxing pundits co-signing a motherfucker, right? And this guy has done things like sparred Floyd Mayweather and made him look bad. You know what I'm saying? During sparring. He's done shit like knocked out Adrian Broner during sparring. I mean, these fucking stories are out there. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, it's a scenario where, okay, you might want to take some of the shit we're saying seriously about this guy. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to hear no bullshit about no motherfucking Jeff Lacy, dog. That shit was just complete out of hand. You know what I mean? And he just went in there and showed it. Now, before I go to my man Kashad, I'm going to tell you exactly how I had my scorecard. I had exactly what Adelaide Burr had. Go ahead and hit the dislike button. I had it 97-92 for Errol Spence. I didn't see Kell Brook do anything else after round 4. You know what I'm saying? Or after round 5. I'll say after round 5. But I gave round 5 to Errol Spence. I didn't see Kell Brook do shit after round 5. I had Spence whitewashing the fight from round 5 all the way to round 11. Whitewash with a 10-8 round. So that's how I had my scorecard 97-92. Kashad, man, how'd you see this fight, bro?
And first off, I want to say shout out to Errol Spence Jr. Errol, the truth, Spence Jr. That's what he proved tonight. I'm going to say Kell Brook, he did what he was supposed to do. I'm glad as Twine mentioned that a lot of Kell Brook's early work, especially in the first round, second round. I gave him the second round. And I think the fifth round, which was, I think, his last really good round, those counter punches were off balance. You see what I'm saying? So Every time he got some get back, his feet wasn't planted. So I know it wasn't a shot that really, really hurt Errol. It was just an arm punch. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's not like he's Anthony Joshua. He's not swinging with that much force. So I think Errol did what he was supposed to do. He took his time. He picked his shots. I think the people that kind of shit on his defense everybody's not fluid. Dude is defensively responsible. I think his punch anticipation is highly underrated. He kind of really, really anticipates where to put the guard. So he doesn't take the full brunt of a punch unless he's pulling straight back in the line. He kind of does that. We can hate on him, but Floyd does it, Terence Crawford does it. A bunch of great fighters do it and counter with a check left hook off of it. So Errol Spence was able to do that a little bit in the fight. I like that he was able to, stick to his game plan and force Kell to fight at his tempo. I think in the earlier rounds, Kell was able to do a little bit more. And I guess that's all the good stuff I'm going to say about the fight. Now to the real shit, I guess. Kell a game quitter, man. Dude is a game quitter. I don't care. And look, that's why I asked my man before we started this. And if anybody know the truth, and we got a doctor, that has confirmed that this man's eye socket is broken, it is what it is. I apologize. I won't, because I don't care that much, but I hope he get better. I just really feel like how is it that he knew in the 7th round, him and Engel knew that his shit was broke.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh man, well, this is a totally different eye. Don't say the Golovkin shit kind of rehashed. And I thought that was titanium in that eye. We thought you was damn near Wolverine, my brother. I don't know what the fuck going on.
Word up.
And so I'm like, the first knockdown was it. I think in round 9, he really wanted to go down a lot more. He did what a true champion is supposed to do. His whole shit is losing your legs. But dude, the game quitter. He knew what it was, and he beat the 10 count. If I was a ref, I would have made his ass just like
hell yeah.
He put them gloves up.
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
The 10 count.
Yep.
He got up at like eight or 9. He was up like he couldn't even quit right. He couldn't even quit right.
Go ahead, Twine.
I think he was expecting Dominic Ingle to do it for him again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, pre-fight, my man. Pre-fight, he told him, don't throw the towel in. I'm throwing chocolate brownies all day. He told him don't throw the towel in. He was like, I'm going out on the shield. I promise. Like, bruh, 2K, please find that footage and put it on this video too. He said, do not throw the towel in.
I got you.
So Ingle looking at him like, motherfucker, what you gonna do?
Yeah, nigga, you said not to throw the towel in, motherfucker. I ain't gonna throw it.
I can't do it for you. You got to put your own pants on. Quit like a man.
Word up.
Quit like a man.
Word up.
You sold that 0 to Gennady Golovkin for what, $6 million?
Yeah.
So, I guess if that was what it was. So now you went around talking about
terms were for this fight.
Yeah, he said he was undefeated at 147. You know, and I'm talking about, like, if you watch the Sky Sports stream, because I definitely didn't pay for this, and I don't have Showtime. I watched that stream, and they tried to say every other word, every noun, every adjective you could think of that wasn't quitter. And like,
you know what? To even you fucking absolutely correct on that, dog. And even piggyback on that shit. Nigga, that goddamn Sky Sports broadcast sounded like Jim Lampley and HBO, fam. The only thing that was missing was...
For the first time.
Yeah, the only thing was missing was bang, bang, bang. Pacquiao with another left hand. That's the only thing I was fucking missing. You know what I'm saying? Like, man. I'm watching the fight. I'm hearing, I don't know who the fuck these cats are, dog. You know, I don't know the Sky Sports cast. But I'm hearing...
Yeah, it's
who is it?
Johnny Nelson and Tony Bell.
Oh, yeah. Johnny...
Tonight.
Oh, I didn't know that was... I didn't know they were talking during the fight. I thought they were being interviewed after.
Those were, I think they were color analysts, but the typical guy.
Okay, I got you. Okay,
yeah. I know Johnny Nelson was probably ringside though. I know he was, cause he always is. And
they was fucking up tonight because they were saying Kell was up 5-1 in the 6th round.
Yeah,
I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Johnny Nelson is known to be extremely biased. And even when he was a boxer, man, he used to talk about how American fighters are not better than UK fighters, which is complete bullshit. So he used to always say that shit any fucking way when he was a WBO champion. But so whenever he talks, I already know this nigga not gonna say nothing, you know, that's how do I say, very informative in the sport that's gonna educate some people and say some biased ass shit. So if that was him on the side, that was doing that whole Kell Brook with another right hand, and the fucking punch clearly hit that nigga's glove. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck are these niggas watching? And then, you know, like what Kashad said, after the 6th round, they had Brook up 5-1. I had it 3-3 at that point. Somebody.
I had it 3-2-1 because I had the first round like a really swing round.
Did you say 3?
I hate doing that shit.
Hold up. Did you say?
I gave it a 10-10 round.
Man, we don't get no goddamn 10-10 rounds around here, nigga.
Well, hey, I did it. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, you about to get look.
Hey, let me throw one last thing in there, 2K. I will say that Kell Brook needs to go and heal up. You know, God be with him with that one. Heal that eye up, train, get down to 147, go and fight Amir Khan in the battle of the I just got my ass whooped crew. And then retire, man. Make a few dollars and go and get out of here, bro. Because I don't want to hear my eyes hurting and I broke my orbital bone every time you in there with a puncher.
Yeah.
Like maybe over across the pond he can fight on that circuit, like Paulie Malignaggi's, you know, those guys, those type of figures. But he cannot fight on the world level anymore.
Shit, he can't even fight. He can't even fight Paulie. Paulie retired.
Yeah. I'm talking about like the Paulie Malignaggi like competition type.
Oh,
guys.
Jesse Vargas.
The last 3-4 type of guys he fought. I mean, not even Jesse Vargas.
Yeah.
Jesse Vargas has held a world title. I'm talking to like the British level fighters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the NABO champs or those type of guys. NABO.
Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All over the world. I'm not, I wasn't just naming British champs. I'm trying to spread it around, but he ain't never gonna be world level again. So don't fight Khan. I think it's a clip with Dante. Dante had an interview with him right after the fight, and he was just like, I think I can get it in with Brook next. Yeah, I bet you can, motherfucker. Like, I bet you can.
Yeah.
I bet you can.
Well,
now he could call shots even. Now he think he can call shots even more because Brook coming off a loss. So
yeah.
Like, you lost to
Errol definitely an opportunist at his finals.
I'm sorry, man. I wanted to jump through the TV, slap shit out of Amir Khan, dog. For real, that nigga, bro. He was just talking, man. I was like, man, sit your dumb ass down. Talking about, me and Kell Brook is definitely a pay-per-view fight. Nigga, shut the fuck up, nigga. That shit should be on motherfucking CNN, nigga. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Because you ain't been nobody at 147. And then when you was at 140, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't shit at 140, really. His career was made, between 135 and 147, bro. You know what I'm saying?
It definitely ain't a Wembley fight no more. Definitely ain't a Wembley fight the way they once could have had it.
Yeah.
So they both fucked that off.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know what could have happened if dumbass Amir Khan, when they were trying to make this fight, when Kell Brook was thoroughly trying to avoid Errol Spence for a reason after we just seen tonight, right? But anyway, when Amir Khan was trying to make that fight, and Kell Brook wanted to make that fight, and dumbass Amir Khan comes in and says, oh, well, I want to fight for the IBF title. I want to fight for the title. But your dumbass ain't even fucking ranked in the top 15 for that organization. That's what fucked it up right there. If his stupid ass wasn't so greedy, you know what I'm saying? Those two could have fought. Amir Khan could have won, or Kell Brook could have won, and both fighters would have possibly looked very good in a fight that probably, who knows if, Khan would have got knocked out or if the fight would have gone to a decision. It could have been close. Both of them had an opportunity to redeem themselves after losing to, Canelo and Triple G respectively. But this dumbass nigga Khan was too fucking greedy. Now if that fight goes down, it's really seen as a joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know British fans will support it, but boxing as a whole, we're just going to be like, oh, nigga, this is a fight between two losing motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, we'll watch it, but we're going to be like, yeah, it's a battle of the bums. Let's see. I mean, that's, no disrespect, but that's what it would be. Let's see which loser is the worst loser. You know what I'm saying? That's what it would be.
To be honest, man, Amir Khan on the Sky Sports stream, he referred to Errol Spence Jr. as Keith Thurman for 2 minutes.
Damn.
I was like,
damn.
He was like, what the fuck is he talking? He was shook, dude. Tony Bellew was gonna have to fix him, bro. He was like, Errol Spence Jr. He was like, oh, yeah, motherfucker. He been training in your gym. You been watching him whoop them pads ass.
Yeah.
Now it's your turn. 147 to be anything up there, you're gonna have to go through him or Keith Thurman or somebody. You might as well fight Kell Brook now. You knew what was gonna happen to Kell Brook.
Get one last payday. One last payday.
That's what I think is gonna happen. One last payday. I think both of them might fuck around retire at the same time. They might retire at the same time. Real talk.
Kell Brooks made some nice little money, in these last couple of fights, and that would be a good way to cap it off, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, all right, before I go ahead and conclude this video, let me give my breakdown assessment since we got all the fuckery out the way, you know what I mean? Basically, man, going into this fight, and y'all can add whatever y'all need to add while I'm doing this. Going into this fight, man, I had, my worries for both fighters. My worry for Errol Spence was his lack of head movement. The niggas was finding homes for punches on this dude. in previous fights. You got Chris Van Heerden's jab. You got Alejandro Barrera's fucking right uppercut. You know what I'm saying? They were landing at will on Errol Spence. And a lot of people were like, well, you know, it could be a testament to the fact that he was just trying to go in there and blow these cats out. So he was walking through punches. So, and that could have been, right, prior to this fight. Also, Errol, not only does he not have head movement, very good head movement, he doesn't really have great upper body movement. Doesn't really utilize feints either. And his footwork is not stagnant like we would say Jeff Lacey's is. But his footwork definitely needed improvement prior to this fight, right? Kell Brook's side, now, my man Scott Knight, shout out to him. I had the utmost respect for him, but I highly, highly disagree with his assessment of Kell Brook. And he actually picked Kell Brook to win the fight simply because of he felt that Kell Brook's movement was too superior. And I'm telling him, like, no, Kell Brook's movement is not great at all. My man moves back and forth. You know what I'm saying? What he does is he might turn you, but when he's turning you, he stays there right in front of you. He doesn't continue moving side to side, utilizing the jab in the process. That's not what he does. Also, he can move back, move all the way back to the point where his back is touching the ropes. Then he'll try to spin off the ropes real quick. If you're fighting a guy that can cut the ring off well, like Errol Spence or Gennady Golovkin, they're not going to let you just spin off the ropes and allow you to continue moving back or to the side to get the fight back into the middle of the ring. They're not going to allow you to do that. And we saw that in both those fights, and that's what I was trying to tell him. No, Kell Brook's lack of movement is going to be the reason why he gets knocked the fuck out. Now, in the beginning of this video, I showed you my text. I didn't do a pre-fight prediction video, but I did do a pre-fight prediction, and I posted it in all these different groups. And I actually posted exactly what I said, which was Errol Spence will win by late KO. And what came from that is the fact that Kell Brook doesn't have the footwork to get away from the body punches that will pay dividends early in the fight, that will fuck around and get him knocked out late. And that's exactly what we saw in this fight. You know, early on, Kell Brook started off fast. He looked good. A lot of motherfuckers was worried, like, oh, shit. That nigga Errol Spence really is whack. You know what I'm saying?
Never. Never.
Yeah, exactly.
Never.
Cats was really feeling that shit. Kashad, like, I had niggas text to be like, bruh, yo, Errol Spence really ain't that dude, dog. He's not the truth. He's the lie. He's the lie. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, nigga.
Never.
Wait a bit, because Errol Spence is a patient fighter. He's cerebral in the ring, and that's something that people look over. Just like with Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia is actually a smart fighter. That's why Keith Thurman's win over him was so celebrated, right? Because Danny Garcia is actually a smart fighter. Same thing with Errol Spence. He's a smart fighter, but that is overlooked because they're looking at the knockouts. They're looking at his aggressiveness, etc., etc. And that's why I was telling these cats, he's cerebral. Just wait for him. He's going to open up. And that's exactly what we've seen. You know, Kell Brook did look good. With that counter jab, that shit was sick. I was telling my wife in the beginning of the fight, I was like, yo, Spence is going to have to feint with his jab, dip left, and come back up with a straight left hand. I told Kashad the same thing through text. That's exactly what Spence was going to have to do to get over that counter jab. I did see him dip left, but when he would dip left, he would like go to the body, or he catch himself off balance. He would dip way too much to the left, and he end up off balance, and that would allow Kell Brook to tie him up. And speaking of the fucking tie-ups, man, please, let me know how y'all feel about this, dog. I told my man Corey, shout out to my man Corey, man. Yo, I have not seen so much motherfucking holding go unnoticed since Vladimir Klitschko versus Alexander Povetkin. This was the most ridiculous display of holding I have seen since that fight, dog. This nigga held every motherfucking chance he can get. Now, he did this against Sean Porter, right? But this was extremely excessive, dog. I mean, I'm looking like, ref, you gonna say something, motherfucker?
I mean,
of course not.
Even
the
put the way he was holding his head, you know what I'm saying? Put him in the headlock and shit.
He kind of admonished him like, twice for that early in the fight. It was like two, like he gave him two like motions, but
yeah, the minor motions.
Family. That's why I'm saying he a game quitter, bro. All that was there. The ref was there to let him hold as long as he could.
Yeah.
And
See,
he
even
beat the count.
even you know what, Kashad, even to piggyback on that, the ref was there to allow him to get his ass pummeled in the 10th round. Now I had to fight. I had Errol Spence winning the fight by knockout by round 10, and in round 10, honestly, dog, a lot of the fights that we've seen, previous to this one, where niggas is getting their ass whooped, shit, the fight before, motherfucking George Groves and Fedor Shudanov, nigga, that fight should have been stopped. That was a worse beating than that. Really? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the referee was doing all he could to not stop the fight to allow Kell Brook just to be able to make it through that 10th round so he can go back to his corner. I mean, come on, man. The fight should have been stopped there. You know what I mean? So, and even in the damn Shudanov Groves fight, Groves had Shudanov's head and shit. I don't know if they had the same ref or not. I don't remember. But he was holding Shudanov's head and fucking holding him with his left hand and hitting him with his right hand. And I'm like, ref, you gonna tell the nigga to get his glove off the top of this nigga's dome? No, yes, maybe, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So the fuckery was in tonight. Now, luckily, the 3 judges, they weren't convinced in the fuckery. Adelaide Bird had it 97-92, which is exactly the same scorecard I had for Spence. The Mexican judge, I can't remember his name. It was like Jose Chavez or something like that. He had it 96-93 for Spence. And then the last judge had it 95-94 for Spence. You know what I'm saying? At the time of the stoppage. So the judges weren't really convinced in the fuckery. I'm glad he got this nigga out of there because I know all of us were afraid that if this fight went to the 12th round, that they were going to try to put the stiff one to Errol Spence. And, he took care of business, man. He warmed down to the body and he took him out. I mean, it was a beautiful display. Before I let y'all go, I got a question for y'all.
Yeah.
Errol Spence put out a tweet. And I know you saw it, Twine. I think you were the one that put it out there. He talking about he wants Kell Brook now. After all these years of dodging the I'm sorry, not Kell Brook, Errol Spence. After all these years of dodging the Errol Spence question, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers would be like, hey, bro, what about Errol Spence? And then that's when he goes on a stutter game. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker be confident as fuck until you mention Errol Spence's name. Then he go on a stutter game. Now he just released a tweet talking about he wants Errol Spence. How there's only one true champion, and Errol Spence is gonna have to see him. How you feel about that, man?
Man, I'm kind of laughing about it just because I'm like, it's you on the shelf, dude. Like you're not fighting for the rest of the year. And, you're going to have some other fights, probably some mandatories to deal with when you come back because of that layoff. So I'm just like, it's kind of funny you're willing to go out on a limb now and say that shit. Every time you've been asked a question, you kind of stumble around it and, you side talk. You talk out the side of your mouth, when you hear his name,
yep.
When they mention it. You talk indirectly about it. And, I just don't think he ain't looking forward to this fight, man. I don't think he wants it at all, especially after the nice performance. A lot of people already had Kell Brook highly rated. Even though Keith is unified champion at welterweight right now. I don't know. I wanted to ask y'all as well, what do you think as far as the result of this fight? Was Kell Brook overrated, or is Errol Spence just really that special as far as we think,
Well,
that's what I wanted to ask y'all.
Well, my interview with Derek James, I clearly stated that there's fighters out there that, they may not have the experience, but if you're good at, analyzing styles, breaking down skill sets, being able to apply what or what the information you've gathered from watching that fighter and applying it to how it will look against other fighters. If you're, accurate at doing that, then it was easy to see that Errol Spence was a special motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no fluke. And that's why I had no problem saying that, prior to the fight that Errol Spence was going to win by knockout late in the fight. I mean, it was an easy prediction for me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think twice about it. So, I mean, he's definitely a special fighter if you've been breaking down his skill set for as long as I have. What do you think about that, Kashad?
Well, I'm gonna answer Buddy's question first. I can't say that Kell is overrated. I can say his resume is extremely overrated. He sold a 0 to Gennady. He had only beat Sean Porter and a bunch of, of the British circuit fighters. Their records were terrible. I can say he was really crafty, so he was obviously somebody who had been trained and been around the sport. He obviously carried weight real good. He was a large welterweight. Hopefully he come back and only fight Khan and retire, like I said earlier. But I don't think he. I think he would have gave Keith Thurman problems. I think he would have gave every welterweight in the division problems because he was able to, albeit with a lot of holding, some of it is initiated by Sean Porter. He was able to curtail that beast and win his strap. You know what I'm saying? And there are people that would pick Garcia to beat Porter, but nobody would say that's an easy fight. And Thurman beat him, but that wasn't just an easy fight. You know what I'm saying? So Brook ain't just trash. He's just a game quitter. So you never really know how good this motherfucker is. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm glad he didn't drop that strap and fight Amir Khan for some money. He did the noble thing. He kept it. Took that ass beating like a man from Errol and gave that belt up. So, he a game quitter. So I guess we'll never really know. I think Errol Spence, of course, he is special. Now on your question, 2K, with Thurman in the tweet. I think Thurman he sent the tweet because he had to, man. In all honesty, he kind of right. Like, he is the top dog at welterweight. Manny Pacquiao punk ass ain't doing nothing right now. I still ain't heard shit about the Jeff Horn fight. And maybe because I ain't looking for it, but who gives a damn? It's like, just get that strap up and go ahead, go become a preacher or something. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Manny. Just keep going. Because, Keith kinda, he is top dog. But, Errol is knocking on that door. And I would say a dream for me that would lead to it with Keith having his injury, and he is going to have some mandatories. I would like for Keith to come back and fight Lamar Peterson because that's a good stylistic fight for him. I think it's a very winnable fight for him, but if he lets Peterson warm up and outbox him, he could lose those belts. And, that guy could just get killed in his next fight. But I would like to see Keith Thurman fight Peterson. I'd like to see Danny Garcia fight Sean Porter to keep that WPC spot. I like to see Errol Spence fight whoever. Just like a come home fight, maybe somebody. I don't know. A nice turn test.
Honestly, I tell him to get his mandatory out the way if he trying to get, the IBF be on some fuckery as it is, man. What they, as Bernard say, is unification.
David Avanesyan is still the mandatory at 147. He could have fought Errol Spence like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
You don't want to fight that man.
I agree.
He does not want to fight that dude.
Yeah.
Why?
It's just like
he's still the mandatory.
Well, I know exactly. It's just like Kell Brook when he was. He didn't want to fight him. I feel like Keith Thurman's the same way. Nobody wants to see this nigga. And honestly, he should have made the fight a little bit closer, man. That way niggas would come out the woodworks trying to fight him. They won't be shook. You know what I'm saying?
If you let your homeboys tell it 2K, it was close. The people that was texting you saying he'd a lie.
Word up.
Kell Brook won at most three rounds, maybe. 3 is what you got to give him.
That's what I gave him,
4
too.
is just pushing it.
I gave him exactly 3
really
rounds. Yep.
All the punches he landed were it was nice left to landed, I'm not going to lie, but it was straight arm punches. And I really feel like people just don't understand that Errol's punch anticipation is through the roof, man. He know when you're not going to put no flame on no punch. He know when you're throwing a hard ball. Yep. He know when to give back.
A lot of people were saying he was going to be susceptible to the Kell counter and go over top with his, the way he goes to the body, so heavily. And, I was noticing him doing something pretty, thorough, like you said, with his punch anticipation. He was putting his left hand up in a high guard, kind of, you know what I'm saying? cover up for the right, coming back from Brook, when he would go to the body with his right hook. So he did that a lot. He impressed me defensively in that fight. For somebody to be as offensively as aggressive as he is, he just surprised me with the way he defended and was able to defend and counter. Brook wasn't able to do a lot. Many people thought the uppercut was going to be a factor in this fight as well. Didn't see too much of it from Brook. So Spence was thorough in putting that ass whooping on him, man. He was methodical with it. Like I said, he boxed his way in. Most people thought he was going to apply pressure earlier, which is why TK was saying, people were worried after round 6. But he was real methodical with it, and he thoroughly put those punches in. He made those punches to the body, even though he got warned early for a low blow. He kept going with it, and eventually he was able to catch, Brook to the body when he was trying to come out of the clinches or when he was trying to circle around the ring. So, not only when he had him against the ropes, he was able to do it eventually when Brook was trying to move away laterally. So, he just broke him down, man, and took his will, made him shit those chocolate brownies out that he was talking about.
Hell yeah. With the nuts on the top of them motherfuckers too, bro. Hell yeah.
There's a video of Errol Spence eating a brownie on Instagram if y'all check it out.
I gotta get that. I'm about to get that, though. I'm about to put it in the beginning of the video. Hell yeah. All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and conclude it right here, man. I want to thank my man Twine the Divine from hoopjab.com and the Müvment Boxing Podcast we do every Sunday. Also, I want to thank my man Kashad. He's over there probably, I don't know, raking some leaves or some shit and mowing the goddamn lawn and farm.
Right here, boy.
I gotta fuck with you, man, because you've been fucking with me like, nigga, when you gonna put something out? But you're right, though. You're right, man. That's my man's right there, man. Kashad from Lil Rock. I appreciate y'all for coming on. YouTube, do what you do in the comment section. Be real. Let us know what you think about this fight. This is Real Talk for real fans. 1.